are the emotions?
Excitement. You're ready to just get back on the court, teammates that you love, and just be able to go out there and compete. You play a talented team first game, and it shows the test of where we are right now and where we can hopefully move on forward in the future.
How are you feeling about where you guys are at?
I feel confident. I feel like everybody's really locked in and prepared. I feel like we have a good group of guys that are willing to compete at the highest level, and you also feel like everyone's just very motivated to get the first game started.
Automatic.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah.
Got to pay the bills, New Balance,
Opening
Celtics stuff. I guess they sponsor our facility, so we gotta show them some love, right?
Speaking of money, is it frustrating, disappointed that you weren't able to get a rookie extension back?
It's one of those things you just kind of move on for them. You have you had your goal. It was you misinterpreted the value, and for you just kind of perform. That's all you have to go do. And who knows where you end up, but it's one of those things you just come out here and play with the team that you've always wanted to play for. You've always wanted to play with, and you have a bunch of guys here that I feel like are confident enough that won't affect anything else here in the locker room. So I'm just super excited, just because at the end of the day, it's all you can hope for. You go through negotiations. Sometimes negotiations don't go the way you want them to. So you can only persevere and push through.
Is that something you were hoping to get settled before opening night and kind of get that out of the way? And what are your emotions now with that kind of over your head for this coming season?
Absolutely. You wanted to get settled. You wanted to get a deal. You wanted to make sure that you were locked in with the guys you want to be with for years to come, but it doesn't happen. And for me, emotions-wise, it doesn't really affect my mind much, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to go out there and do what I do the job that I'm asked to do, perform in the situations I need to perform, and focus on that rest of the stuff the following year. None of the other things you can control. You can only control what you can and move forward with that.
Do you feel like you have more to prove then?
Yeah, but if you think about proving yourself, it's more so you're making it an individual. For me, I've always been about the team. I've always been a guy that has focused his energy on making his team better, making his teammates around him happy, making his teammates around him more excited to play the game every single day with this long season. So for me, that's kind of my perspective still going into it. You have to be that same person, that same human, not let the other stuff affect you, and just focus on the things that matter, and that's winning, and that's performing with the group of guys that you have.
Shortly after the news came out, you tweeted something like, "Let's go get that ring." Was that you saying, like, let's turn the page, let's focus on what matters, or was that on purpose, or was that just kind of a coincidence that the timing was?
It's just a coincidence with the timing. I feel like I was focused on, at the time, I was just super excited to start the season. And then next thing you know, my agent told me, he was like, it's 6:05, right? And I was like, oh well, who cares? But for me, it was like you had those conversations, and then you focus on that ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get a ring, wherever that may be this season. It's goal.
When did you know that something wasn't going to get done?
When did I know something was going to get done? Probably around 5:20, 5:30. I wasn't moving off of what I wanted, and I don't think they were either. So Brad sent me a text. It sounded like it was over, so I was like, all right, sounds good. See you next year, and kept moving.
It's your first game, right? You got 82 of them. Do you feel on opening night you could still make a statement collectively here or around the league?
I think that you use opening night as a stepping stone. It's not something you can put all your marks on, because people win opening night all the time. They blow guys out, they do these things, but next thing you know, they end up 4 and they win 8 games, 12 games, 20 games. So for us, it's all about perspective. We focus on the fact that we're 0-0. Don't look at last year, don't look at next year, don't look at the playoffs. You focus on every single game one by one. And this team is a talented team that we can't look past. And Philadelphia, they have a bunch of talented players, but they also have a good coaching staff. They have a good group of development guys. So for us, it's just a matter of going out there and competing.
In what ways do you feel better about this team than maybe you did in June or even 1 year ago on opening night?
Yeah, we're more mature, more disciplined, I feel like. And that's something that we have to continue to improve on throughout the year if we want to get to where we want to go. That maturity, that discipline, that competitive edge that we always have, we have to keep that same energy night in and night out, not only when we're playing a team like Philadelphia, but when we're on the second night of it back-to-back against the team that necessarily is performing the best. So it's just a matter of coming out there with something to prove as a collective, as a group of passion and heart about what we're doing every single day.
Where the contract stuff goes, can you just speak to your appreciation of Boston, your fit here, what the coaches have done, how you feel you've developed so far as tough?
Absolutely. I've had a bunch of great guys here since the day I've come in. Started with Brandon Bailey. I want to give a big shout out to him in my defensive development. Went on to Evan Brads, who kept me not only rooted, but allowed me to continue to perform shooting the ball. And then now with Ben Sullivan, those three guys, and Joe Mazzulla as well. I want to give a big credit to all those four guys for the development that I've made to this point. And thankful just for the opportunity Boston has given me, honestly. Just one of those things that you hope to be here for a long time, and whether that happens, you focus on that the year after. But for me, it's all about the perspective right now and competing with the ultimate goal of winning a championship and accomplishing what I told Danny since the first day I came in.
Can you speak to the challenge the Sixers present, being up front court with Embiid and then also adding PJ Tucker, keeping on track?
Absolutely, yeah. They're a physical team. They put a lot of pressure on you going downhill, and they're able to shoot the ball a little bit better now with the group of guys they have. They have a shooting lineup off the bench especially. And for us, it's just a matter of matching that physicality, matching that effort, and make sure that we play with our speed and pace. That's kind of where we're at an advantage. Their advantage is probably their size and their physical ability. So for us, it's just a matter of making sure that we understand our identity, we understand what we want to accomplish, and make them play our game, not play theirs.
Based on what was reported, you could have made life-changing money if you had taken the offer. Do you kind of see the bet on yourself that you'll be worth more after this season?
Everyone makes the claim for life-changing money, and it's a good claim to have, but it's one of those things that you never want to take a bad deal for no one around you. Like when you look at it across the league, when you look at the role that I play in the Players Association, the idea is that you understand where the league is going in the future, and you understand where the league is currently at. So for me, it wasn't a matter of life-changing money. It was a matter of value, not only for this year, but years to come. And I think that from both sides, I think we all negotiated to get to that point. And there was no ill will. There was no frustrations. It was one of those things that you can't come to terms. Doesn't mean that the deal doesn't get done next year. Doesn't mean the deal won't get done in the future. So for us, it's just a matter of perspective. I want to make sure that not only the deal that I take is something that I feel confident about, but it's something that it doesn't mess up the guys around me. It doesn't mess up the market for guys that do the things that I do, And I feel like you look at the guys that didn't take extensions that feel pretty much in the same position. And for me, that's huge, that's valuable, because I care about every single player in this league. I care about every single player in each organization that has to deal with free agency, that has to deal with the issues that necessarily we have within this league. So we're on the right path, we're on the right steps, so we just have to go out there and do what we do.
What are your from Joe to get him ready for this moment, his first regular season game as a head coach throughout the preseason?
Yeah, with Joe, I'm super excited just because he's very encouraging for the players. He's a guy that will always challenge you to become better and be better as a player, but also be better for the team. And he's done that from this point since he's gotten the position and since he came into the Celtics organization. So I'm excited that it's first opening night, first game. We want to go out there and win his first game as a head coach and give him that glory because he deserves it. He's a great human being.
Final question for Grant. How do you support him as he makes this transition? He said he's going to lean on you guys quite a bit to help him, make that transition to head coach.
Yeah, the biggest thing for supporting him is making sure that whatever we can do to make his job easier, but also whatever we can do to keep him in the right mindset, because as a head coach, there's a lot more pressures on you than there is as an assistant. There's media. There's things that necessarily you don't have to go through every single day. There's criticisms that necessarily may not be just and something that you may not necessarily be your fault. But as the head coach, you take those on. So I know we all know he has the shoulders to withstand it, but for us, it's about lightening that load, making sure that every single day we come in with the right attitudes, that right approach, the right mentality to come in and make each other better, make him better, and make this organization better for a whole.
Thank you, Grant.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Presented by your New England Ford dealers. Built for America. Built Ford proud.